Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Hurley Investments Market View Commentary for July 26th. This is a Monday. Be the last one for the month of July. We'll head into August next week. Good to see everyone here. And I'm just going to go through thoughts in general and what I'm worried about. So let me just say I'm going to go through thoughts in general and things that are making me worried right now. So today I did not beat the market. And what would that normally mean? On an up day, if I'm not beating the market, what does that mean? Think to yourself, I know some of you taking the education. If I don't beat the market, what does that mean? Mary, perfect. You might be a little overprotected. It could also mean that there is a big loss in a particular core holding, right? It could mean that my protection didn't make up, something had earnings and it dropped. What it really means, time to re-evaluate the overall portfolios, where I have to look at portfolios in general and take a peek and see if I'm doing something wrong. Today, not huge, but I was down $37,000 on 17.5 million, and the market was up 1/4%. So if I take the math on that, I think I'm down 37 divided by 175. I'm down, 0.2%. Almost hits that, hey, I'm down 0.5% from the market, which brings me into some major concern. But I have to do my evaluation. I have to take a peek and say, okay, what was hurting me today? Costco up, Bank of America, Apple, Visa, Boeing, Disney. Okay, I'm good. A bunch of little mini ones in here. What's the big losers? Facebook, Baidu, Under Armour, Amazon. And the funny thing is, the Amazon is just one single account from a different person that's trying his Amazon luck. So Amazon I'm getting hit for, but it's not my trading, it's someone else's. So I started Facebook and I go over my Facebook positions to see if I would change anything before earnings. So I bring up Facebook. I've got covered calls. I've got long puts. Facebook was up today. The long puts took a volatility crush. And my calls lost quite a bit of money too because the stock went up. So taking a peek at it, I can also see that E-Trade has a problem with their system. 264 times 2400. I mean, I should actually be up. No, actually, that's right. Never mind. Never mind. Being up $1, this is incorrect because it should only be 2400. So, okay, there's some mathematics going on Facebook that is wrong. I'm okay. I'm prepared for earnings coming up. My protection is way out of the money because Facebook has gone up so high, but I'm going to let this one run because we've made a killing on protection on the way down. I'm really hoping this gets called out at 390 to book some great profit on Facebook. So as I look on Facebook, I feel like I'm okay. Even though that's one of my biggest losers today, I feel like I'm in okay shape because for whatever reason, Facebook is not calculated correctly on the short call side. So because the short call side is not calculated correctly, I know I'm okay. I know it's going to look a little bit different in individual accounts. If I go back down, I take a look at Baidu. Pretty interesting because I'm looking at Baidu going, how am I getting killed so much on it? And the interesting part is on Friday, we took off some short calls. So I actually I've got 2,100 shares that right now are not protected for earnings. Because I just took off a deep in the money covered call. We took some great profits on them. So I said, hey, am I doing something wrong again? Is there something I'm doing wrong on Baidu? And I went to an individual account, and let me go ahead and stick what I found in there. I went to an individual account. I thought, okay, I've got some shares that were unprotected for a day. Did it kill me? And the fact of the matter is, as I went through what I was looking for, the puts made $8,300 on a $6,100 loss on the stock. And the other 3,000 shares here that are not protected, I'm basically 9,200, but I'm making up 83. I'm still okay. I'm still okay on Baidu. I like the overall position, not a bad position to be in. On having 300 shares or shares I purchased with leaps, only being down 1,500 on 900 total shares, I'm okay on Baidu. I'm okay on where I'm at here. Not a bad thing. I can live with where we're at. And then as I go through the last one there, Under Armour. What am I doing wrong on Under Armour? Is there a problem at Under Armour? Do I need to change some things out? This is a Monday, so we might kick into some volatility. And as I look at Under Armour, again, a flat puts has me down 16,000. So one more time, when I look at Under Armour, we did have some volatility bleed off, but again, there's a miscalculation here one more time. Nothing too drastic. They had an update over the weekend, and I'm just looking at saying, okay, I'm okay. In all honesty, with Baidu and Under Armour, I pretty much have a flat day on a stock that lost $10 or over 5% on Baidu. So my portfolio, as I look at it, says, you know what? I can live to trade another day. But this is what I'm looking at. I also have to take a look at our charts. Taking a look at our charts right now, and I'm just going to do a little bit of highlighting. 35,144 is exactly where we were 3 months ago, and not significantly higher than where we were 4 months ago. So in all honesty, the Dow Jones turned slightly bullish. Good to see that. Had our crossovers. I told you that would pretty much melt off. But in 1 week, our stock index, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, went from bearish to bullish. And unfortunately, we are trading sideways. So when I look at my other two indexes, S&P 500, 42, 44. We went through some sideways movements here, sideways movements here. Basically, we've gone through an earnings or a quarter where the S&P is traded slightly bullish, but sideways for a 3-month period of time. NASDAQ's a little bit different. I don't have the same charts on the NASDAQ, which is good because that's more bullish, and we are slightly stacked to the bullish side. But when I go back to looking at the portfolios as a whole, the indexes are trading sideways, which is the one direction that the caller or protective put strategy loses money. So as I'm taking a peek at it, I'm looking at portfolios, I'm looking at a day like today, and I'm seeing, okay, what's not working? And what's not working when I look at my 3 biggest losers, I'm doing okay. In fact, I'm doing really well. Kevin, you also did something on it, a little interesting. Lockheed Martin, earnings today, right? And they beat top and bottom line. Their earnings were great. They had $7.13 against $16.52. They beat by over 61 cents. Came in at 17.029 billion versus 16.933 billion. Lockheed Martin beat top and bottom line. As I was doing my research, I figured as much. I figured they would beat. Everything pointed to them beating top and bottom line. So what happened? Obviously, they said something. Haven't gone through their earnings call yet. But nothing like Lockheed Martin being down $12.72. Kevin, you don't have long put protection. You don't have an insurance contract here. No, I do not. I have a deep in the money call contract that I was hoping would call this away so we could have a profit and I could move into something more profitable. Did not happen. On a $6,300 loss, we basically made up a third, $1,925, which gives me an extra day to find out if I need to put an insurance contract on it. I'm not sure why they went down. My numbers came up pretty close. They should have been up, but they went down today. I have to do my research tonight to find out why, but thank goodness I did a little bit of research, and at least my numbers looked like they should be where they needed to be for me to make money. Pretty good everything on Lockheed Martin. I just need to dig deeper. I have a little interesting comment here, a blurb. The defense contract reported GAAP earnings of $6.52 per share, including a 61-cent charge related to performance issues at a classified program. The Wall Street consensus was $6.53, while revenue beat analyst forecasts. Lockheed Martin also raised its full-year forecast, but shares fell 2.6% in the pre-market trading. I saw that this morning, and again, they should have beaten. They should have beaten. I was looking like I was okay. Do I need to go change everything and throw something on the middle of the day? I don't. But it's hard to go through. It's hard to look at, and it's hard to understand. couple people said, Kevin, why didn't you go put more protection on Baidu? For people that have just those shares, what were you looking at? Well, here was Baidu today. Started off heading down and came right back up at the open. It then went up to the 168. East Coast came back up to 165. The last 2 hours, it trickled down. I could not see a direction or understand where Baidu was going today. It doesn't look really good. Again, on nothing to do with Baidu, it had to do with Alibaba today. When I went ahead and I looked at my chart on Baidu, come on. When I looked at my chart here on Baidu, two things stood out and stood out pretty dramatically. Just hit oversold, and it doesn't stay oversold for long. You can see in the last 6 months, it's actually been a bounce. Oversold with institutions, which means I'm looking at a bounce here too. I just didn't see where I had the need to go throw a bunch of new protection on. It's becoming more difficult to read, but we are breaking a long-term level of support, which means protection might not be down, or excuse me, support might be down at 145. So I need to make a decision tomorrow if it's time to add a second layer of protection on our Baidu positions. Going to be interesting to see where we end up. But those are the things I'm looking at as I look at a day like today. Am I doing something wrong? Is there something glaringly staring at me in the face that says, Kevin, it's time for you to change up what you're looking at, or it's time to change up what you're doing? This is where I do my research on a daily basis to see if there's something I'm doing wrong, if there's something that I've missed, something I've overlooked, something that I have to do more research on, or something that I may have missed. And right now, I don't, and I didn't see any of that. So we're doing okay. We're going to be in okay shape to keep moving forward. Are there any questions about how I look at a portfolio on a day when I'm not beating the market, and to check to see if I'm doing something wrong? Again, is there anything you guys are looking at that you might say, hey, Kevin, could you go over, or do you have a question on something that I look at when I'm not beating the market or when I think I might be doing something wrong? Good question. Kevin, do you look at all your positions that are up? So in all honesty, no. I don't worry about positions that are making money. If they're making money and they're up, like Costco and Bank of America, Apple, Visa, Boeing, Disney, I'm okay where these are at. It's not an issue for me. I don't see a reason where I've got to go, oh no, I got to go check my core positions if they're up. What I'm really paying attention to are the big down ones. And that's where I'm going to focus my concern. So no, on a big down day, I'm not looking at up positions per se. I'm looking at where I'm getting gypped by the market. Today, through this, I've got Baidu and I've got Facebook that there's a problem with their totals. You won't see it on the individual portfolios. So that's where I have to go to individual portfolios and make sure that Baidu and Facebook are okay. All in all, I should be flat today to slightly positive, about $14,000, but I'm still looking to make sure I haven't done something wrong. All right, another question came in. It is dicey to trade all Chinese stocks now, given what the government is doing to them, i.e., the educational sticks like EDU. No. So the short answer is, and let me go through what I mean by that. So someone asked me that earlier, and so I picked out a pretty interesting article, and I've tried to help people understand. All China is doing right now is they're starting to crack down on, they're starting to do what the U.S. has wanted them to do for forever. Play by our rules, not their rules. And I found it kind of interesting because they're cracking down on anti-competitive behavior. And on a $16 billion income coming in on these guys, they imposed a fine of $77,000. So let's put this into perspective. Is a $77,000 fine going to hurt a $16 billion revenue growth company? What do you think? Is a $77,000 anti-competitive fine going to do a lick to a company that brings in $16 billion? Of course not, right? So let's put it into perspective. It's a token fine. They are trying, quote unquote, to do what the U.S. has asked them to do for years. Is it going to affect their business? Hell no. We've seen that from Baba, Tencent, IQ, Baidu. We've gone through and seen their revenues doing fine, doing better. This is a unique opportunity to buy into a group of stocks that is going on sale, and going on sale significantly. They're half off right now. They're half off, going on sale, and we have an awesome opportunity to buy in at half the price some of these companies were 6, 8, 10 months ago. Because China is doing what the U.S. has asked, or what the world has asked them to do for years. And let's face it, they're really not doing a great job. If you're going to find a company $77,000 on a $16 billion revenue stream, oh no, that's so bad. It's a joke. It is an absolute joke. So, for both of you that asked the question, why would you not invest at least something into the second biggest world economy? That's a question for you guys. Why would you not at least invest something into the second largest world economy? Kevin, if you put it that way, I guess it makes sense. Well, it's not a matter of making sense. It's a matter of working the numbers. Nothing is truly being done. It's a token complaint. Well, what if they get delisted? Then they're going to go over to Hong Kong. And Baidu's already duly listed there. So is Alibaba. Nothing changes except where you're going to buy and sell your stock from. ADP said, would you not wait until your thesis is reasonably confirmed? Well, one, I'm already in them, so that's beside the point. But if you're looking to invest new money, you've got to work the numbers. You've got to work the numbers and let the numbers talk to you on what you should do. And that's going to be the key. That'll be the key to have the decision. It really comes back down to, kind of shocking when the stock market goes on sale, that everybody runs away and runs out of it. It doesn't need to be that way. All right, let's see where we're at now. Market recap for last week. Basically, a nice 2% end of the week raise. More importantly, though, our earnings coming up. We have Lockheed Martin, core holdings for tomorrow, GE, Apple, Starbucks, and Visa. Tomorrow, we also have Google, Waste Management, Microsoft, UPS, Raytheon, JetBlue, Citigroup, 3M. Wednesday, core holdings, Boeing, Facebook, Ford. PayPal also reports vacation, which is Marriott, Lending Cub, Spotify. What is that one? Spotify's one. Shopify is the other. It's an H there. Pfizer, McDonald's, Garmin, CME. Thursday, MasterCard reports, Valero, MCD Holdings, Beazer Homes. Pretty interesting new home sales that came in today. They did not beat 679,000 versus 790. They did not beat their new home sale numbers. But we also had a home sale company basically say they can't build the homes fast enough for the buyers. They're also more expensive. So pretty interesting. This week, economic reports. Watch on Wednesday as earnings are stifled for the FOMC rate decision. We should not have a rate hike. It's just going to be a non-issue. GDP on Thursday. We could get a big push on Thursday with GDP. Tomorrow, durable goods. We should get a big push with durable goods. And then Friday, personal income, personal spending, Michigan sentiment. We have some economic reports that'll run our futures. And in all honesty, as I look at this, durable goods, rate decision, GDP, personal income, personal spending, we should be looking okay. We should be actually be looking pretty darn good. Kevin, what makes you say that? And again, it gets back down to thesis, right? How are you talking and using that thesis to justify what you're talking about? And it's nothing more than looking at the charts. Durable goods is slightly more positive in May on our numbers. Our charts are heading up. We should be doing better based on the weekly numbers that are coming out. GDP. We're getting our bounce higher. If you take a look at GDP, our GDP numbers are trending higher. We should be doing okay. Personal income, personal spending. A little mixed on income, but we're just turning higher. Spending's been through the roof for GDP. We also know consumer credit has gone through the roof. We look like we should be doing okay. For that reason, I'm letting the numbers speak for me. All right, August, where are we going to head in August? I had, 3% in July, and we're going to be pretty close to it. We might actually be at 4%. August, I'm not so certain where we're going to be at. So I'm saying 0% right now. I'm going to adjust that as we come into August. We still have ad protection for earnings. Big week of earnings, big portfolio movers. Interesting article on Warren Buffett. Asked what you should do to get as rich as him. Invest. China orders Tencent to give up exclusive music licensing rights as crackdown continues. Again, the fine, $77,000 on 16 million. There's 20% that has joint regulations and so forth. So again, I'm not too worried about what I see. The Alibaba fine of 2.8 billion. When it comes to numbers that they have, it's not a big issue. They're doing fine. Chinese stocks are on sale, just something for you guys to look at. And again, another round of stimulus checks apparently have gone out. I wish I was in this, but I found a pretty interesting letter that came through that payments of $1,400 per person have gone out. And for those that qualify, apparently another $600 is coming in the near future. So we are going to stimulus ourselves through the end of the year. For some people that are taking it or that qualify, you can get your child tax credit. Half of it is coming to you in $250 increments. You can go online and ask that that be stopped, or again, if you haven't received one, then either you don't have children, or let me take that back. You don't have children on your taxes for 2020. That should be on your taxes for 2021, or you didn't qualify. You made too much money. So that's where we're at for today. Any questions you guys have in general? And Abraham, did I answer your question sufficiently? Perfect. Thank you, Abraham. Randy, did I answer your question sufficiently? And Mary as well. Ida, same thing for you. All right. The good news is I got things working again on GoToWebinar. They also went through an update. You should be receiving a day before your webinars an email that reminds you, and you should be receiving an hour before the webinar an email that reminds you. They've had a bit of a mix-up in an update. Some of my numbers got confused because I was making adjustments in different time zones, but I've been on the phone with GoToWebinar. We should be good to go from here on out. I apologize for any problems that we've had, but I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Thank you for attending tonight, and there's nothing wrong with being skeptical, Ida. Same thing for Mary and Amy. If you're not comfortable, don't trade them. If you can't make the numbers work out for you to justify why you should be in it, don't get in the position. I totally understand. You guys are going to be in great shape. Jim, yes, it's still, yes, it is still missing. I see it on my side. I went to them this morning. We're probably a couple weeks out still till anything truly gets done there. Guys, have a great evening. I appreciate your time. I will get this posted as quickly as possible. I hope for some of you it was helpful to see how we've used long puts for protection that are deep in the money through higher volatility that can protect all 900 shares. And I hope you can see for Lockheed Martin how we used a short call as for some extra protection on this one, especially when all the numbers said that Lockheed Martin should go higher. So I do hope this was helpful for you guys. I will get this posted as quickly as I can tonight or early tomorrow morning so I can go over it. Have a wonderful day. And for those of you that are on the trade findings and adjustments, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.